Dave, the show's starting. What are you doing?
Yesterday was May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Correct.
And I thought I would try to get myself a spot as an extra on the Bad Batch.
Well, we just watched the first episode of the Bad Batch, which was great, but I'm pretty sure it's all computer generated, animated. So how's that going to work, hon? All right, it's episode 40. Ta-da! Welcome to the Worst Talk Show.
Oh,
I'm Angie C, handsome boyfriend, shock trooper Dave.
Woo!
And we are welcoming you one and all to the live stream of the show. Very happy to be here, have a ridiculous amount of stuff to get to. We want to welcome everybody that's here. Nikki T, Dave, your face has improved. Oh, Nikki! Smitty is here.
Hello,
Bob
Bob
Tarasi is here. Oh, when you did all that, you moved the camera. You bounce. You like to bounce. You're like a Bumble. You know, the abominable. Bumbles bounce. Rudolph, Yuko and Cornelius. Nothing.
I didn't realize we were hurting each other's feelings now.
Oh, we're not hurting each other's feelings.
Well,
Holly
sure
Cantor
mine.
is here. Hello.
Holly!
Holly almost forgot it was Wednesday. Like,
How can you forget
don't
it's
have it on
Wednesday?
your calendar.
That's crazy.
So this means that we're officially halfway through the week. And as Sam Mavola says, we make Wednesday feel like Thursday, which means the weekend's like right there. And so
It's within striking distance.
yeah, we like to be part of your motivation for the weekend, right? Because Thursday is just Little Friday.
We're supposed to motivate people?
Yeah, we're totally motivating people, like all the time. We motivate them to watch certain shows, not watch other shows, listen to certain things, check out live performances, and sometimes eat, make, or bake things.
And sometimes turn off their computer.
Huh? Why would we want people to shut off their computer? That's how they're watching us.
We don't want them to, but
oh, I
sometimes we can't
see.
help but
I
see.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
if I have to explain the jokes, honey,
this
all
went
right?
better in rehearsal. I'm kidding. We don't rehearse.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Anyway,
They don't believe that anyway.
Episode 40. The first thing we want to talk about, of course, is that we went down the UFO rabbit hole this past weekend, or really week, because there's some new evidence. There are going to be things released in June, and I realize, as one of our executive producers, Ethan, said earlier, haven't we been down that road before? A little, yes, when they released some footage. Well, now there's a lot of it, and the government is tired of covering everything up. They're just exhausted, and it's getting to be too much.
So actually, I'm getting together a group, and we're going to drive out to Area 51, and we're going to get naked.
Oh, all right.
And streak on Area 51.
And what will that do with so that's just going to make sure that the aliens no longer come here? Is that?
No, I mean, we're going to just show that
Are we welcoming?
It's about
them?
us.
Oh,
I
see.
It's about the people.
I am really excited though, because UFOs and all of that have just been embedded in me since I was a wee lass.
Embedded?
My dad. I grew up
like a microchip.
Yes, my dad works. When I was growing up, he worked for, well, it was originally Allegheny, and then it was US Airways, and then everything else. But one of the things he always told me was that UFOs are absolutely real. He saw one when he was in the service, and more importantly, all the pilots he knew at work all swore up and down that it was absolutely true, and they had all seen things that the government did not like to be shown. So
just a what do we call that, a disclaimer. Your dad did buy his weed from those pilots.
That is not true, not at all. So not too much about that, but the guy that left the secret program in the government that specifically studies UFOs. They call them
Luis
UOA.
Elizondo?
Yeah, what do they call them now? Unidentified. It's not UFO anymore. It's a different set of initials, but it's the same thing. And he was getting really sick and tired of certain higher ups in the government, specifically in the defense program, not knowing about this, because as we all learned in Independence Day, plausible deniability. So he wanted to tell General Mattis, and they wouldn't let him tell General Mattis. So he quit, and he quit with a huge FU resignation letter that basically said in very bold print to General Mattis, they're real and they are absolutely a threat to our security. So I'm looking forward to welcoming, a common enemy so that maybe we can stop fighting with each other. That would be great. So that's enough of that. I don't want to get super crazy. Oh my God, Krishna is on. We froze for a second, so I just want to say hi to everybody. How is your health, love? I saw posts. Hope you are okay. I am great. I actually, I lost 71 pounds, and then I went under the knife and had weight loss surgery. So I had what's called vertical VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is, they didn't open me up, but they pulled 2/3 of my stomach out of a hole in my tummy that they made with laparoscopic instruments. So there you go.
I actually had that made into a change purse. It's so cool. But the thing is that there's no change. There's a national shortage of change. So I haven't been able to use it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait until you use Angie's former tummy purse. That's totally disgusting. Yeah. Joe Burke, that should keep the aliens inside. Oh, the Street King. Yes, absolutely. Lewis Warren is blasting a Tommy Lee song. I'm sorry, Lewis. I hope that stops soon. But seriously, yes, Krishna, I love you. And are we getting new Think Tree music? I feel like you guys all teased us to death, 2 years ago when you were checking out a bunch of Moogs. So I'd like to hear more about that, Krishna. I would really like that as like a little wishy present, perhaps. Lewis Warren, have you heard about the French winemaker who demanded origin control regarding his vineyard, specifically for UFOs, and got it? Interesting. I did not know that, but there's so much that's that we're going to be made aware of that we aren't. That I'm pretty excited.
I really hope this isn't like Al Capone's vaults back in the day.
Me too. At this point, though, I mean, they're just happening with such frequency. You got to stop like pretending it's swamp gas and weather balloons. Like,
by the way, Chris he's not showing off, but it's 2 albums.
What? Live stuff is on Bandcamp. We knew about that. I forgot. And then oh my goodness. So 2 albums. For anybody that isn't aware of pretty much the greatest band to come out of Boston, I know that's saying a lot, but seriously, Think Tree was like it.
Pretty cool.
And if you mention that in certain crowds, people be like, hi, we're best friends. Like, it really is, they were just such an incredible band, and I'm so happy we're gonna get some new music. Yay! Years after I had left FNX, even years after FNX itself had left as an entity, people would still call and ask about Hire a Bird, like me. Like, what is that song? Who did that? How can I get that? It's just
one of my favorite voices to do.
Legendary. Yep, Sean O'Brien says they were amazing. Lewis, Think Tree is so awesome. Nikki T, I too believe in UFOs and other life out there. No big whoop. Exactly. At this point, if you don't believe it, you're just a moron. And we don't have time for your kind anymore. All right. So UFOs are real. Now that we're all caught up, let's talk Disney Plus. Let's talk The Bad Batch. I know we're Star Wars nerds, and it was May the 4th yesterday. Oddly enough, neither one of us wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. I'm repping the Rupert selection, and you're repping that little band.
A little group called Van Halen.
Van Halen.
Yep.
Very nice.
I heard they're pretty cool. I don't know any of their music.
All right, so Krishna says there are 2 live albums on Bandcamp from Think Tree to download now. European tour, board tapes, etc. Some Paradise Ships.
Nice.
Oh, great. Excellent. I look forward to that as well. So we watched The Bad Batch. We actually just finished it. The first episode is really long.
It was a good batch.
And for those that maybe don't know the premise of the show, why don't you explain it a little bit to them?
Okay, so there is this galaxy far, far away. And it's a long time ago.
Okay, let's not mansplain. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes.
Okay. It's at the closing days of the Clone Wars.
And most of the Clone Wars stuff is computer animated.
Right, the series is, right? So this part happens on the day that Kenobi defeats Grievous. That's going to be the end of the war. And Emperor Palpatine gives the order, execute Order 66, which is the order to kill all the Jedi.
So that's like as we open.
And the Bad Batch is, what is it, the Group 99?
Yeah, so it's a group of 5 soldiers, and they're all clones.
They're all clones, but they're all defective.
4 of them were mutations of the original clones. So they don't like authority. They're also extremely good at what they do. And
certain ones. One's a big Brutus guy. One's a sharpshooter.
One's an excellent shot. One's really
super
smart. Yeah.
One's the technology guy. He's not a clone though. And then the leader is, they call him Hunter. He's got like senses that are, elevated.
Yes, he's a sensitive person, but not in a sensitive ponytail way.
Kind of like.
Anyway, if you were on the fence about watching it, because maybe you're not down with animation these days or whatever, but if you are a Star Wars fan, you're going to need to watch this, and they're probably going to tie things into it. And Dave Filoni's running the whole thing.
They already did.
You're right. Previously, I'm just saying we're going to get even more tie-ins now. So we loved it.
By the way, Grand Moff Tarkin,
yes,
is still just an admiral.
Oh, at this point, right. It's a lot of prequel stuff, really, and maybe it'll make those movies seem better to some people. I don't know. We also discovered some more nerdy stuff on Disney Plus. Did you know that they have these vehicle fly-throughs where you can actually, it's like having a drone go through every piece of the Millennium Falcon, although I imagine it's computer
generated. All computer generated, but it looks very
gorgeous.
Realistic.
And you could check that out.
Inside and outside.
And what was the other? The Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer, inside and outside.
We're just total nerds, but we were like, oh my God, that looks so cool.
I was a little upset that nobody from Lucasfilm called me to be like, hey, Dave.
This Star Wars Comic-Con moment is being brought to you by The Worst Talk Show. Thank you, Kevin Tachi. If only. It is one of my dreams in life to get to Skywalker Ranch. If anybody can make that happen for me, that would be groovy. You know what? I might consider actually marrying you if we got an invitation to the Skywalker Ranch, so we could be like Kevin Smith and his wife and get married at Skywalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Maybe. Anyway, enough of Star Wars.
Keeping my fingers crossed, guys.
We told you guys that we got to see Without Remorse. Did we talk about this last week?
I thought we talked about it last week. Would somebody please tell me?
The Tom Clancy thing. I think we did.
I think we did.
And
you were so angry with me about the whole.
It wasn't wonderful. It's just kind of so.
Yeah, it was loosely based.
Very loosely, and we did talk about it, so we won't talk about that again. I'm sorry. We're still watching The Nevers. It's getting better, but it's still kind of on HBO. The Joss Whedon vehicle, if you will, although it may not be his for much longer. We did however, get to watch the new Dave Grohl documentary, because Dave Grohl is just saving rock and roll one documentary at a time, and we wish we could hate him, but we love him. This one's called What Drives Us, and it's all about bands in the van. And of course, they immediately start talking to Lars Ulrich, the drummer from Metallica.
Because, they've always been in vans.
This is the only band I've been in, and we were never in a van. And I'm like, okay, bye. Like, why are we?
But they kept talking to him.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He's just kind of, Lars is kind of a dick. I mean, I'm not big.
There's a douche canoe vibe of epic proportions that just emulates off of that guy, or emanates off of that guy. So
Lars, were you in a lot of bands coming up? No. Oh. Metallica is my only band ever. And this is about tour buses or tour vans. Yeah, we never drove in a van. Of course, one of us died in a bus, but
yeah, well, I don't think that was going to make it into the actual show. It's kind of a feel-good show. Although there are definitely points in that, like the bass player from the Dead Kennedys, who had gone through just a horrible drug addiction.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Some really great, like, sort of tender moments.
I got a little choked up.
Yeah. A little bit. But Dave is great. It introduced us to our new favorite band of brothers called Radkey. If you have not checked them out yet, please do so. Radkey.
Radkeymous.
It's three brothers, and they are here to save rock and roll, basically. They are mixed race, African American. Their dad is white. And so the promo pictures and the albums, they get booked, and the people think that they're a hip hop group.
They're like, yeah, no, we don't. They have trouble getting shows.
Yeah, because
yeah, we don't book hip hop acts.
Yeah, think 90s grunge, but also like them Crooked Vultures. And there's definitely
it's a little bit like
Josh Homme, thing going on there.
There's a little bit of a derivative thing going on,
but
they're
so
brand new.
It's great. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're totally
and
down.
Everything they do, it might sound a little bit like something else, but it's all good.
So Linda and Joshua just brought up an excellent point. You do have to join something to watch the movie. It's called the Coda Collection, and it's part of Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can sign up for a free week subscription. And then if you don't cancel it within a week, they'll charge you for a month. And I think it's like $5 a month or whatever. So we got it because I really wanted to see and be able to let you guys know. And we watched it. So the Coda Collection itself is all music documentaries and music related items. We actually watched the 25th live anniversary concert of the Godfathers the other night.
Yeah, like it's
She Gives Me Love.
It's this close to the camera. It's like they're this close.
Yeah,
they're in a club that's like as big as our living room.
It's the 100 Club, and it just seems very tiny the way they shot it, and you really feel like you're wearing the same pants as the lead singer at one
Which
point.
is not cool.
And it gets very sweaty. You're like, oh, stop sweating on me.
He just looks like a villain in like every English mob movie ever.
Now, is Morning Sun part of that, or did you find that elsewhere?
I think Morning Sun might be part of that collection.
So if you guys are fans of Dave Grohl, Dave Grohl.
Another Dave.
No, the other Dave. The Dave from Juana's Addiction.
Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro, who, and I knew this about him because I interviewed him back in the 90s at FNX, but he comes from like the worst possible background. His mother and his aunt were killed, brutally murdered
by
an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, an ex-boyfriend.
And it happened when Dave was like
13
years old or something.
It was
no, he was 16. I'm sorry, because it was
1983. Yeah,
I was 13 in 83, so that's why I think about that. And it goes through. I'm only halfway through. Dave saw the trailer, and I mistakenly thought you had watched it already, so I started watching it. And Dave's like, "I didn't watch it yet." So,
I didn't want. I pointed out as something for us to watch because we're always doing that.
Yeah, but I would recommend it highly. It definitely has the Dave Navarro. He's definitely a character, and so there's lots of freaky artsy stuff. There are some outtakes, if you will, probably an artsy porn he did with a girlfriend where he's got like braids and he's tied up, and there's some light bondage stuff going on there. So if that's your thing, you may want to check it out. But it is a very heavy subject, obviously. So it's like a part crime documentary, but it's also like, how did Dave Navarro become Dave Navarro? Well, this is a big piece of the pie right here. It's called Morning Sun, and morning is spelled Mourning, and that's on Amazon Prime.
And Sun is spelled S-O-N.
And we believe that's part of the Coda Collection as well. Sean O'Brien says the Godfathers ruled. Yes, Nikki T. When I marry Dave Grohl, we will have our wedding at the Skywalker Ranch, and you and Dave will be my #1 guest. Oh,
always coming Nikki through T. for us, Nikki T.
You're really the greatest. Joe Burke, where are those guys on that birth, school, work, death spectrum? Must be deep into work. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At this point, probably.
Almost at retirement age.
Absolutely. So Frank of Ireland.
Listen, guys. Okay, look.
It's another Prime show, though, right? I think
it is Prime. I think it's Prime. Guys, it is another Star Wars alum, Domhnall Gleeson, who plays General Hux in the new the 3 prequels.
The tall, skinny Ginge, who is the son of Brendan Gleeson.
But also, here we go, his brother
plays Frank.
So they play brothers in this show.
And they're brothers in real life. The show is so out of bounds.
Oh my God. It's stuff come out of your nose funny.
It's pee your pants funny.
Choke on your sandwich funny.
It's wildly inappropriate.
You don't want your mom watching it.
Nor your children. But we loved it.
And Frank, you don't want your mom's children watching it. Oh, wait, that's
we had talked about Bridget Naiman a while ago. This is kind of in the same
dirtier
realm,
like, yeah. It's more Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, like, Joe Burke said he started Frank yesterday and he's loving it.
It's hilarious,
good.
Joe Burke.
Yeah, so,
but then again, Joe Burke is a jerk.
He is a jerk, and so is Frank. So it kind of works.
I think he's got an affinity.
If you need some laughs, definitely check out Frank.
Oh, it's hilarious. Frank of Ireland.
Now, interestingly enough, we've been talking about Debris and how the first few episodes were really kind of, well, let me tell you, what are we on, like episode 8 or something?
8, yeah, it's like 8.
It's cooking with gas now, pals.
All right, they just had a double episode where 2 episodes were involving the same situation.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
And it was really good.
We're talking like multiverse stuff, time travel stuff,
really
like
cool,
all in our wheelhouses.
The fabric of space-time tearing.
Love it. So
the universe gonna fall in on itself.
If you're on the fence about Debris, I promise you it gets better. So just wanted to say that. Now, every once in a while we find a show, or I find a show that I meant to watch like forever ago and just didn't have the time. Yesterday, that show for me was Atlanta. The vehicle, the tour de force of Donald Glover. And of course, now what was his hip hop name?
I don't know. It was like the little Uzi Vert or no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What is this? I actually know it and I can't, and now I can't. It's a play on words.
Yeah, and I can't think of it, but somebody will come up. Anyway, Atlanta is brilliant, and I'm only on like episode 5 of the first season, and I'm beating myself up that I haven't watched it before now. It's so really good. So good. The acting
Childish
is
Gambino
amazing.
is his
Childish Gambino. And Lakeith from who played Judas in Judas and the Black Messiah is one of the 3 main characters.
Funny.
And he's just amazing.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something to watch that's both funny and maddening, I guess, because it's very true.
It's so funny though.
It's I think you would definitely get it. Thank you, Lois Warren. Childish Gambino.
Thanks, Vicky.
Isn't your hip hop name Lil plus the last thing you ate? I'm Lil Chicken Salad. Which is better than Lil Cottage Cheese, which is the other thing I have for dinner. But I like the MC Lil Chicken Salad.
Lil Salad. That's right.
Yeah, that totally works for me. The music is off the charts good, obviously. But I think the acting is great. I think the writing is great. It's all pretty awesome. We watched something, so you don't have to. Very big movie.
I mean, wait.
Very big movie.
I'm not going to show this on cable or streaming. I'm waiting for the cinemas to open.
Oh, are you Chris Nolan?
Yes, I am.
After all that waiting, HBO Max is now showing Tenet, and it's not that good.
Really, was not good, Chris.
Very kind of meh. And no, the concept did not fly over our heads. We got the concept. It just wasn't a very well executed movie. That being said, Robert Pattinson is phenomenal in it.
Yeah, he's
really
good.
Like him a lot, and every single thing we see him in, like, we appreciate him even more.
Yeah.
And then John David Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son, who was in the KKK movie. And what was the name of that?
Black Klansman.
Black Klansman. Oh well, thank you, Rob, hitting up the Venmo already for us.
Rob.
Mwah! Thank you. Venmo tip jar right there, if you're so inclined. at DJ Angie
Oh my
C.
God.
But thank you for hitting it early. Hit it early and often.
Hit it.
Hit it. Tenet was just not that good, people. Sorry. I mean, don't go out of your way.
I mean, there's a little bit of time travel, or we could say, you know, different realities.
Yeah, I think Chris Nolan is grasping for things to be extra, you know, intellectual. And he did that with
Inception? Inception was awesome, in my opinion. Fight me.
It's fine. I just think sometimes, you know, yeah, you need a cool concept, but let's not degrade the purity of the film and filmmaking, if you will, just because you have a great concept idea.
Do what?
The movie still has to be a cohesive movie. It still has to have a beginning, a middle, and end, and be satisfactory in some kind of way. I think you spend way too much time trying to wrap your head around what the concept is, because it is a little out there. And then you're kind of playing catch up. And you don't really get to it. And maybe it's like, oh, well, you need multiple viewings. Well, screw that.
Yeah.
We're not wasting our time. And honestly, I just don't think it's that good. I didn't really want to watch it, except for the fact that I wanted to watch it for you guys.
But what I've heard this, people are saying,
oh, yes,
that if you watch it in reverse, it makes total sense.
Yes, and maybe it does. So anyway, we'd like to know what you guys thought of Tenet next week, if you haven't seen it already, and if you agree with us, because we were like, bump, bump, wow. Some of the performances are great. Some of the action scenes are pretty
stupendous,
cool,
yeah.
but not that great of a movie, really. We also watched Mortal Kombat,
which was kind of fun, right? It was fun.
It was fun. Not only that, but I never played the video game, so I had no idea that there were these huge homages, if that's a word.
Yeah, there are Easter eggs throughout, I guess.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, well, that's the thing. The characters,
the Storm, the Lightning
some of the
guy,
like very close.
All the bad guys
to the Storms.
Even one of them kind of looked like Lopan. So I was like, oh, all right.
Oh man,
I'm kind of into this. All right.
Lopan. Oh man.
So you know, if you're just looking for some fun, I would definitely check out Mortal Kombat, and obviously the song is still fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Joe Burke, but what if the beginning is the middle of the end, and the end is the beginning of the middle? Yeah, Chris Nolan, thanks. Like, it gets old. I'm just kind of
so what you're saying is these bullets fly into the gun. Wow.
I could see my dad lasting all of 2 minutes on that film. Like, what the hell is this crap?
I mean, Kenneth Branagh is the bad guy.
And he's a good bad guy.
He's not a bad good guy.
Yeah. Just kind of disappointing, I felt. I turned our Stars subscription back on so I could watch Men in Kilts, because I am an Outlander addict. I will admit it. I like the hot Scots and kilts. And
I think they call that a kilt Katie in the country there.
And Graham McTavish and Sam Heughan, two of the big stars from that TV show, started their own little going on the road documentary television buddy trip documentary thing about Scotland, which is great, except that it's super hokey. Like, it's so hokey and rehearsed that you're like, I made it 3 episodes. And I canceled the subscription to Stars. We'll go back to Stars when Mike O'Malley's TV show about wrestling comes on, I think in June. So we're going to take a little break from that. So I thought I was going to love it. Not so much.
Which is pretty much code for there's only so much masturbation you can do. I mean, you know.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
I have a thing for hot Scots and kilts. I know I'm not the only one out there. Thank you.
I think
Nikki T, damn, should I get it? Those 2 Scott dudes are hot as I don't know, Nikki. Maybe just do the week trial and see. I think it's too hokey. You picked something up that you haven't seen in a long time that you watched again. The Crazies.
Oh, okay, guys. I rewatched The Crazies. Are we familiar with this movie? Okay, so anyway, Iowa town, little small town, and all of a sudden, like, the citizens start acting off.
So would you say that it's maximum overdrive, but for people?
No.
What's the difference?
No. It's like Food of the Gods, but for people.
Okay. I like
H.G.
my
Wells,
reference better,
right?
but that's okay.
Anyway.
It's a horror movie, people.
It makes you wonder what's in the water. But
so they're not zombies.
One of our, we know that, yeah, it's people. So not only do you have to worry about the crazy murderous people, now you have to worry about the government trying to cover it up and keep it under wraps and eliminate the possibility of a pandemic. They say pandemic in the movie.
And what year did the Crazies come out?
It's got to be 10 years old.
Yeah. But you would recommend it again as a little
yeah. If you haven't watched it in a while, guys, it's fun.
All right, good to know.
Yeah. Timothy Oliphant. He's good as
I
like
love
a small.
Timothy Oliphant.
He's a small town sheriff.
Yeah, I do love him
and he's really excellent.
Yeah.
I wish he was my sheriff.
Well, I suppose he could be. We'll make that happen for you. Atomic Fez fundraiser, the virtual Atomic Fez fundraiser.
What?
We just found out. So we're going to be co-hosting with a bunch of other cool people, and we're going to be introing a bunch of the acts for that. And it's happening, is it May 27th? Am I wrong about that?
Maybe.
We'll tell you the date as we get closer. We still have a couple weeks. And Smitty will have the information for you. He will have the information.
If he's on, he'll tell us.
We're going to promote and blast it like crazy as we get closer. It's, helps with Save Our Stages and Once, and it's a great cause. And the bands, so we got a list of the bands we're going to be introing and the cover songs that they did.
Smitty says it's Thursday, May 27th.
It is Thursday, May 27th. Thank you.
Look who's on the ball.
I am on the ball. We're very excited because some of these duets and covers seem pretty awesome. So we are looking forward to not only co-hosting that, but talking more about it, and hoping that you guys will tune in as well. Last year, we hosted almost the whole thing, and it almost broke us up.
Well, because we had to do it all.
We'll host it.
We'll do it all ahead of time. Like, we're filming these bits and ahead of time.
And I don't know if you know this, but we're not into like rehearsal and whatnot. So we just do a lot of ad-libbing and flying off the cuff, which is great, except for when you're co-hosting a virtual event, basically. So yeah, we fought. She fought a lot.
She tried to stab me, guys. It's okay though.
Listen, it wasn't with anything particularly sharp. Anyway, so that with the music, obviously the Coda Collection we already talked about. There's a ton of music documentaries. We love Radkey. Check it out. They're on all music platforms. And then we'd like to cruise on over to food, right? Or are we still talking music? We didn't listen to a ton of music. Oh,
I watched.
You went down the Stevie Ray Vaughan rabbit hole. That's right.
That was today.
Yes.
Guys. Listen, Stevie Ray Vaughan died going on 30 years ago, I think it is.
Oh my God, we are so old.
Okay.
Was he the last? He's not the last tragic musician to die in an aircraft. I mean, it was a helicopter, not a single jet engine plane or whatever, like Buddy Holly and everybody else. But he's not the last though, because I think Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash.
Yeah, it was after him. Yeah.
But one of the biggest.
Did she play guitar?
Our generation.
I don't care. So anyway, SRV live at the Macombo, at the El Macombo.
Which is where?
In Macombo somewhere. I don't know.
I would imagine it's in Texas, but
I don't know that. I can't say that.
I don't know. I'm so bummed I never got to see Stevie Ray Vaughan live. Honestly,
you had so many opportunities and you blew them all off.
I was a child.
He was on the radio every day on what to do on town. Stevie, Texas guitar player Stevie Ray Vaughan. And for me at that age, I'm like, I'll give you some Texas guitar player. Like, what are you talking about?
Just didn't,
he's not new wave. I'm not into it.
I mean,
if he's not in, heavy metal or.
I've had many moments in my life where I've gotten the chance to see a band before everybody knew who
It's
they
in
were.
Toronto, Sean O'Brien?
Oh,
Macombo.
In Toronto.
It's just a club,
This is what I love about our live viewers and part of our live virtual studio audience. First of all, you're all our friends and family. You know that by now. But you're all also such an integral part of the show because there are always things we don't know, and you always have the answers. So extra special love there for that. My former boss and my mentor at WFNX in the 90s was Kurt St. Thomas, and he was a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan.
Really?
And I think he had like a full size like stand-up of him too, like in his office maybe, but just an enormous, and I know he got to see them. And my only claim to fame with that at all was that my ex-husband was at the show that Stevie Ray Vaughan left and then subsequently died at. They were in the traffic jam because of the helicopter crash after the show was over. It was in Wisconsin.
Pretty lucky guy.
Yeah, not really. And I don't think he remembers much of the show. And, so there's that. But yeah, local music news, Sean Byrne. This is from Nikki T. Just in breaking news, Sean Byrne, who now lives in Nashville, has a song playing tomorrow night on the TV show Grey's Anatomy. I'll be sure to tell my daughter, who actually watches Grey's Anatomy,
over and over and over again.
I have never seen an episode of Grey's Anatomy,
I have,
and I'm going to keep it.
It's only because I like spending time with Kendall sometimes.
That is true. I'll walk in and they'll be watching some pretty weird stuff. Like if it's not anime, you guys watch a lot of anime.
Okay, and it's the weirdest thing. Like
really
she's into
is.
really like lame, like it's anime, but it's like, it's we have
like
powers, but we
kids.
can't do anything with them. We gotta fight with cards or whatever, like Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Okay. The one that she got me into is about a high school volleyball team.
That's right.
And every episode is just like a day or a couple days. And it's like, yeah, so we're gonna have like practice on Tuesday because we're playing this team.
It's really weird.
And like the next episode is they're in the gym Tuesday playing this team.
So Lewis Warren has never watched Grey's Anatomy either, but he used to work across the street from the hospital it's supposed to be at. Okay. There's another, that's almost as good as I used to be married to somebody that went to a Stevie Ray Vaughan show that he later died at story. Almost. Lewis also said he never realized that Stevie Ray Vaughan had worked with Bowie. He's pretty awesome. I could never get past the boomers gushing about him. Yeah, that was
the lead
part
on
of the
Let's
thing,
Dance
right?
is supposed to be Stevie Ray Vaughan.
It is. It is.
I've always thought it was him.
No, it is him. That's not open for debate.
Okay.
Stevie Ray Vaughan in Double Trouble, according to Sean O'Brien, at the Agora Ballroom in Hartford, Connecticut in 1985, was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. Sean, by the way, you got to see Elvis. Please fill us in on that one.
How old were you?
You must have had really cool parents, honestly. Because Sean has seen some incredible shows, and I was scrolling Facebook today, and I noticed that he had answered one of those, tell us how old you are without telling us how old you are, but from watching a show, those memes. And he was like, I saw Elvis. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought like I'd be, I didn't really see anybody when I was super young. My first concert ever was Dire Straits at the Orpheum.
My first show was at the Orpheum as well.
What did you see?
Dokken opened for Sammy Hagar.
My second
Pre-Van Halen.
My second show was way cooler, and that was Husker Du with Christmas in the Feelies opening, also at the Orpheum. And I was in high school, and I bought a ticket outside. Somebody from FNX was scalping extra tickets, and I think I bought one for $5 or $10. And it was like a full circle moment because many years later we would have extra tickets.
You'd scalp them?
We wouldn't scalp them, but we would give them up. Or Julie Kramer and I, one of our favorite things to do when we worked at FNX is that we would go to the like worst seats in any venue that was an FNX show. and we would ask people what their favorite station was. And if we had any gear on, we would cover it so they wouldn't know who we were. And if they answered FNX, we would give them like front row tickets and upgrade them from like the lawn at Great Woods.
They never gave you front row tickets.
Oh, yeah, they did. Absolutely. We did good stuff back
They
then.
trusted you with front row tickets.
Nikki T, my first show, also the Orpheum. Andy Gibb, no. Smitty, the New York Dolls was your first club show? Well, way to blow the curve for everybody else. Yeah, Sean says he was 9 and they took him to shows all the time. Amazing.
And
I can't believe you saw Elvis. Like, oh my God.
Holly Cantor says that she saw Sammy Hagar on a plane and he's a wee little guy, I guess.
Oh, is he?
That's
he
what
tiny?
she's saying. I mean,
is he fun size?
he's a
I
little
did not
guy.
know that. Mark Finney says The Cure at the Centrum, 87. Finn, I was there and I was wasted. Remember the big lips on the screen, Robert Smith's lips, because it was the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss
and he
Me
had
tour.
the
And it was just a close-up of his lips like forever. And, you know, we had pre-gamed a little bit. I was a senior.
Lewis Warren will never admit his first show.
Oh, Lewis.
What was it? Oh, wait. I'm going to say it was, no, not Brandy. Who is there's Debbie Gibson. Tiffany.
No,
that's what I'm
way.
going to say.
No way.
I saw her at a shopping mall. I didn't mean to be there, but.
Gene Loves Jezebel and Flesh for Lulu at the Orpheum. Joe Burke. I was also at that show.
I thought those were the same group.
Oh no, wait. Was it Flesh for Lulu, the Lime Spiders, and Public Image Limited was what I saw at the Orpheum. So must not have been the same show. I did see Gene. I love huge Gene Loves Jezebel fan right here. 20 kilohertz, like huge. And I saw them at Great Woods. I just totally love that band. Yeah. Such great guitar riffs, but it was dance music. It was fabulous. Oh, Lewis Warren says we're close with Tiffany. So
wait.
It wasn't Debbie Gibson. It wasn't Tiffany. Who else would it be? Martika?
I was just thinking that. Toy Soldiers.
I bet it had something to do with your sister.
You got to tell us.
I'm thinking. Now you have to tell us.
Was it Gem and the Holograms?
Sean O'Brien. Well, there was that David Cassidy matinee when I was 6.
Oh my
God,
what?
you saw David Cassidy.
I believe that.
Oh my God.
Mr. and the Bangles opening.
At Great Woods. That was his first show?
Take these broken wings.
Mr. is not a show to be embarrassed about, nor are the Bangles.
No, a little bit, Mr.
I mean, I'm going down to Liverpool to do nothing. Granted, it was a cover, but it was an excellent song. Lewis Warren, you're right, I think. Yeah, I bet it had to do with your sister. That's funny. My sister might have been involved. Yeah, it happens. It's all right. But I do appreciate all these awesome first shows. Those are great. And I love it when I find out that people we know, like that we were at the same show. Love that.
Yeah.
If only. Joe Burke, I saw the Jonas Brothers at Madison Square Garden. Well, that's because you're a good dad.
Okay, Joe. Did he pay for that?
I bet he did.
I mean, if it's for your kids, that's one thing. If you bought it for yourself.
Joe, I can't remember if you have 1 or 2 daughters, but I imagine they're right in that age range that when the Jonas Brothers were the biggest thing ever, that you would have spent actual money at MSG for that show. Sean O'Brien says he opened for Gene Loves Jezebel at Mamakin. That was a time. Oh, remember Mamakin? Remember how ridiculous that place was? Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be totally for all the locals. And say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't sell our merchandise? All right. And we can't use the dressing room over there. We can only use this. Oh, all right. Like, and then everybody, I can remember going to a Shooty's Groove show at Mamakin. You guys remember that?
Shooty's Groove?
Yeah.
The song.
I can't even remember the song right now.
The song was cool.
We go to a Shooty's Groove show, and right before they hit the stage, the place is packed with what I like to call the bridge and tunnel, but it was really the Big Dig guys. All the guys that were in town working on the Big Dig at the time were, not super awesome alternative or rock and hip hop fans. Like, they were there to see members of Aerosmith because it was a Mamakin club. Like, they weren't there. And they were some of the racist MFers I had ever experienced in my life. And I was like, and I started laughing. And they were like, what? I'm like, you guys have no idea who's going on next, do you? And sure enough, Shooty's Groove hit the stage, and I turn around and they all left. And I was like, good riddance to bad trash. That's my little mamakin story.
Wow, cranberries and suede is pretty cool.
Oh, who saw that?
Mark Finney.
Finney, I'm not surprised. Now, Finn, did you see the Smiths, by the way? I know you're an enormous Smiths and Morrissey fan, or at least, I don't know if you're still a Morrissey fan. But I did, one of my first ever shows was the Smiths at Great Woods when I was in high school. And that was top notch. That was for The Queen is Dead. And that was when you could buy a lawn seat. And when the lights went down, they didn't have the extra security at the time because it was new. You could run all the way down to the front section. And that's what we did. And it was awesome.
Let me get some action in the front section.
Mm-hmm. Bob Tarasi, Gangrene all ages show at the Rat. Love it. That was my first hardcore show ever. Was Gangrene at the Channel with the Goo Goo Dolls opening. Nobody knew who they were.
Mark missed them.
Finny, you missed them by 1 year. Oh, you
there's
poor
a little
thing.
bit of Schadenfreude there. Like I'm like, good.
No,
Good.
that stinks. I'm sorry.
It's lousy, right?
You got into them in '87. You poor thing. I love all this. That show was '86. Yeah. Oh my God, I love all those. All the old shows I saw that I forget about.
Hey, did anybody see Elvis Costello at Great Woods and the Replacements opened up for him? I was at that show.
I don't think I was at that show. Was that one of the Golden Circle shows?
Golden what?
Okay, so there were times when like the Pixies played Great Woods, but they called it a Golden Circle, and there was no lawn.
Oh no, I was on the lawn.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought it was Golden Circle. It could be called something else. James Melanson says the Atlantics when I was 18 at Jonathan's in Salem. I was underage. Yeah, you were. And that is awesome. Wow, the Atlantics.
Lonely hearts.
Nikki T says, I had to go on a double date with these dudes that worked on the Big Dig. They were underwater pipe workers, South Shore trash. Oh my goodness. Holly Cantor, the Kinks with Bryan Adams opening. Where was that, Holly?
That's kind of odd.
Though the Kinks, though, getting to see the Davies brothers.
But that's got to be like around the time of, Come Dancing.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Right?
So, yeah.
So that puts Bryan Adams at like Cuts Like a Knife. Right about there. Is that about right?
Can you confirm,
Is that about right?
Holly? Love all that, though. Such good shows. Good chatting on the good shows, too. I want to keep this going. Who else has some early shows? Sam Avola, a friend lived across the street from Great Woods, pre-gamed there when headed to the Smiths. Great show. Yeah, I mean, it really was. I still have my ticket stub from that somewhere. Holly Cantor, that was 1982. So I think you might be right. Finney says, I saw Elvis do his spinning wheel show for Spike. Was that it?
Which is Elvis Costello. You know what? If you don't remember the Replacements.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how do you?
Let me ask you this though: the Mats were notorious for playing a great gig and then playing 5,000 lousy ones because they were all too drunk.
No, this wasn't a fall down show. This was, it was that.
But that was towards the end of the Replacements, or at least the first. The first version. Joe Burke said he saw the Kinks in college in like 1986.
Spike might have been the album before that. For whatever reason, I'm thinking Spike had the two-tone, the black and the white face paint,
and like the big clown thing. Finney says he saw a different opener. Okay. Linda Joshua, I saw the Pretenders at the SMU Gymnasium in 1980 or 81. Linda, were you 5?
And she was like, someday I'm gonna dress up like this broad and I'm gonna play and sing her songs
and kick ass.
That's it.
That's awesome. We saw the Pretenders at the Orpheum a couple of years ago.
And my knees are still sore.
Chrissy kicked major butt.
She's no joke.
She's no joke.
Right? The thing about the photography was a little bit much.
Well, it's funny because I think people of a certain age don't understand social media and the power of promotion. And they were all like, you got to put your phones away. You can't have your phones out. And then I'm thinking, well, Chrissy must look like crap. That's why she doesn't want people taking
Yeah,
photos
no.
and videos of her.
No, she doesn't.
Smoke show, slamming
No,
body,
she's
ripping it up.
She's been working out and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Didn't really understand that, but totally fabulous. Kinks, 95 North Shore Music Theater, Beverly. Oh, nice.
Pat Benatar at Berkeley School of Music in 1980.
Rob
Rob
McKinnon.
McKinnon. Hello.
Oh, Pat
1980.
Benatar.
That's got to be like hit me with your best shot.
That might even be
Right?
before that. I remember getting into
Is that
that
Hell
like
is for Children? Is
8th
that
grade.
before that?
Might be. You're gonna have to let us know about that. Because the spinning wheel was also at Orpheum. Can't remember Elvis's opener.
Wait a minute,
Mickey
wait a minute.
T. That was a very long tour, if memory serves.
Holly Cantor says that she saw the Pretenders with Iggy Pop opening.
Oh my God. Where was
Really?
that? That's amazing. Did I ever tell you my Iggy Pop story? I had to get out of, I was standing in front of him at CBGB's during the CMJ Music Festival a million years ago. And I had to actually get out of the way so he could see the stage because, you know, he's only 5'1".
He's got a pain in his neck.
I'm 5'10". Well, now I'm like 5'9" and a half. I'm shrinking.
Like 5'9".
But
minus.
all right, that's enough. With both Davies brothers? Yeah, I'm not sure if those later Kinks had both Davies brothers.
Did they fist fight?
If you didn't see them fight on stage, did you
Was it
really see
really?
the Kinks?
Was it really Ray and Dave? I don't think so.
Yeah, James says yes, original band minus the keys. Good to know. Hey, do you guys remember when the Sheila Divine got in a fist fight on stage? Sorry. I love the Sheila Divine, and Jimmy Gilbert is like a brother to me and one of my favorite people, but man, he and Aaron threw down at a show, and I was living in Vegas at the time, and somebody called me to tell me about it, and all I could think of was the Elvis Costello glasses flying between the two of them.
They both wear, yeah.
And then, you know, it was like just a high nerd alert, and how did it end in fisticuffs? But anyway, it all worked out. It was all happy in the ending.
So Holly says it was in Columbus, Ohio in 86 or so.
Oh, wow.
So that, let me see. Wasn't that when the Pretenders got humongous with Middle of the Road?
Yep.
Right in that time?
No, Middle of the Road was before that. That was all earlier than that.
Oh, no, it wasn't much earlier than
Brass
that.
in Pocket was earlier, because I had that on a K-Tel collection.
Yeah, but Middle of the Road was afterwards.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So, and the thing is they're from Ohio.
Yes.
Right?
Back to Ohio.
Or she is from Ohio.
Yeah, Cahoga Falls, right? Yeah. The whole thing. She was at Kent State. She was a student at Kent State and witnessed that whole thing. I thought that's how all that happened. Or she was there. I don't know if she was a student. I know she left and traveled to England to start a band, but also to get Ray Davies in the sack.
Yeah, I don't think she was old enough.
She's up there.
Don't you say that. She'll come and kill you.
I don't know. It was her hometown anyway. She was definitely involved in some way. That's why she wrote that song.
Learning to crawl.
Nikki T says Adam and the Ants, UMass Waltham, In Excess opened around 1980.
That's a pretty badass show.
That's a great show.
In Excess. If you didn't know that's a
I saw
show.
In Excess at Great Woods, and it was soup to nuts, one of the greatest shows ever. That first year of Great Woods had phenomenal shows. Mark Finney, I'll tell you who helped me get into alternative music, this cool FNX DJ named Angie C. Oh, Finney.
Oh my God.
I never knew Mark Mothersbaugh was at Kent State too. I don't know that I knew that either, Lewis. But yeah, what all these awesome bills you're talking about. Thank you. This is all like totally taking us back, right? This is good. And we haven't even gotten to the food.
We're not doing it.
Guess what, you guys? I'm on soft foods and I can cook again. Woo!
Oh, man, I mean, she made me scrambled eggs this morning with a little sausage patty and some broccoli that was steamed.
Now, granted, I'm cooking, but I can have this much. I can basically have 1 to 2 ounces before my new TT10 tummy goes, we're all done. But it's so nice. Like I actually cooked salmon the other day. I poached it. And it was lovely. I almost had a tear.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so
I haven't cooked in so long.
So Chrissy is only a year younger than my dad.
Yeah. Chrissy Hine was born in 51. She is up there.
She's 71.
Yeah. Lewis Warren, I never appreciated In Excess. They're pretty rad. I have to tell you, I'm so sad at the state of radio, especially in Boston.
You can't find In
never
Excess
hear
on the
In
radio.
Excess. I think that we finally heard an In Excess song on Big 103, which doesn't have any DJs and just plays a mix of everything.
Yeah.
But how many good In Excess songs are there? A bajillion.
There's a lot.
And way before Kick, mind you.
They were a good band.
You never hear In Excess on the radio ever. And it's like, I'm just so sad that, you know, other generations are going to lose that opportunity to be like, wait, what's this? And then go check out their catalog because they were just so good. And then to find out that Michael Hutchence, the way he died and that he actually hit his head on a curb, and that
it changed his personality.
Yeah. And it, you know, you think it was all about drugs and whatever. And it's like, no, he actually had like brain damage from his fall.
He got punched out by a taxi driver, right?
Yeah.
In like Brussels or something.
Yeah. If you ever get to see that documentary, you just, your mind will be blown. Lewis Warren is currently making chicken saltimbocca. I always pronounce that wrong, but I know what it is. Well, aren't you the fancy pants? Don't Change, Dream On. Yeah, all of them. I mean, oh, so many good songs.
Yeah.
Tear Us Apart
Original
by
Sin,
In Excess
right.
is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So good. Definitely go back and hit that catalog if you haven't.
Lewis, definitely, dude. They are pretty rad.
Oh, we haven't done a big Aldi shop in a while. Dave went the last time because I couldn't deal with not eating anything.
I can't buy food if I'm the only one who's going to eat it.
But I do have to say we finally grilled the Mediterranean chicken patties that
From
he
Aldi.
bought at Aldi's, which are in the freezer section. Fantastic. Granted, I had half of one, but
guys,
fantastic.
Frozen ground chicken burgers.
Yeah.
Okay. Red pepper.
Yep.
Maybe red onion as well.
Yeah, lots of Greek seasoning. I mean,
feta.
Just, yeah.
And maybe, is there a little bit of spinach in there?
I believe there is a little bit of spinach.
In a chicken patty that you grill.
Yep.
Everyone liked them.
Yep. Highly recommend.
Everyone liked them.
Yeah. And that's all we have for food.
That's all we have for a show.
I think it is. And thank you guys for helping us fill the whole hour with all these awesome concert stories. That's amazing. Holly Cantor, I need to hit Aldi. Holly, meet us there.
Listen to me.
Let's have an Aldi meetup.
But you better leave the chicken. What about the Thai chicken?
Oh yeah, he loves the prepared meals.
The Thai chicken.
Thai chicken's pretty good.
Is great.
Yeah. So maybe we should do an Aldi's meetup. When are we going this weekend? Are we going to go Saturday or Sunday? Wouldn't that be great if we all did a meet cute at Aldi's in Medford over the weekend?
We're like, hey, what's up?
What are you doing here? Fancy meeting you here in the frozen food aisle.
Yeah.
I think we should do it. Let's figure it out, and I'll put a blast out on the show page, and I'll tag everybody. And we'll do it. Good music chit chat tonight, Nikki T. Absolutely. Thank you. Thai stick chicken. No, but I suppose it could be. So thank you guys for watching. As always, the finished product will be posted on our page with the intros, the outros, and more importantly, your comments, because you are the stars of the show. And then you can check out the finished product also on upcoming episodes on your local cable TV station and your cable access TV station, and you can check your local listings for when we're on. And it's amazing, people like different stations keep adding us. I think we're up to like 10 or 12 or something. It's kind of fun, although I don't know that anyone's actually seen us on cable access yet, but I'm sure it's happened. I think 1 or 2 people have told us, but we don't have any actual television proof yet. So hopefully someone can do that. Thank you, Rob, for hitting the Venmo up early at DJ Angie C. We love you, and we thank you for helping with the underwriting for the show, because it does cost actual money to watch all this stuff. You're not going to hit me? Okay. No. Are you going to put it back on for the closing of the show? James Melanson, we love you too. Sam Avola, absolutely. Thank you so much for another great show tonight. Oh, Bob Tarasi, we love you. Oh, Sunday is Mother's Day. Yeah, let's do it next weekend, Holly. I don't think it's going to work this weekend. Yeah.
It's not the holiday we're looking for.
No, and my daughter is taking me out for Mother's Day with a pedicure on Saturday. So let's move the Aldi's Meet Cute to next weekend. That way we can really plan something. All right.
Yeah.
the first steps of world domination. Love you, Angie, and handsome boyfriend Dave. We love you, Smitty. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you guys so much. Again, hit up the Venmo jar if you're so inclined, and we will see you next week. Happy 40th episode, everybody. Bye.
Bye.